Hello there, everyone. My name is Lunico, and today I just want to talk about the latest special heroes that were revealed for Fire Emblem Heroes, being the ones for the latest Halloween-themed banner. I saw the banner, saw the trailer, all the units, and they all look really fun. Zane, Diginsi, freaking Grima. It says ramen, but it's Grima. And then, of course, we have the resonant harmonic hero, Tiki and Ninian. So I just went ahead, got the images together, made it look a little pretty and all that, so that the skills are readable. Well, yeah, we're just going to start nice and simple with our 4-star focus, the colorless mage infantry unit that is Jane. And I gotta say, he looks pretty cool. I like the jester outfit he's got here. And from what I've read of him, and I have read up on him before this whole trailer thing happened, so I actually knew who he was. So good for me. I didn't play his game, but I did read up about him. He's a dragon who, of course, has the Manakite human form and all that, but apparently does not have his dragon son. He probably ditched it or whatever, but he can shapeshift and change his form and appearance. And he does it quite a lot in the games he's from, of course. Marth's game, the one that has Chris, both of those. And apparently, I didn't know this, but that was quite literally his mechanic in Heroes, of his weapon, Joker's Wild, is quite literally the same thing that he does in actual Fire Emblem games, where he copies select units everything. Like if he had Marth nearby, he copied Marth. He pretty much would have the same stuff and stats as Marth, although he apparently could not use the falchion like Marth, for example, of course. And in Heroes, they aim to do the very same thing here, which is pretty darn cool, because it's the first time we've ever had something like this. He's like one of the most well-translated heroes in Heroes. But let's talk about his weapon. Joker's Wild grants HP plus 5, and essentially his stats become the highest respective stat from among his allies within 2 spaces during combat. It calculates each stat bonus independently at start of combat. If his stats are the highest of any of the given stats around his allies, it'll still decrease. I assume that means it'll just go to whoever's the second highest after him. Like if regular Delthea, was near him, he would take her defense even if his defense was naturally higher. So you gotta be careful with who he's around. A word of note. Stuff like lulls, any in-combat debuff, of course, like lulls, those will still affect him. He'll still take, of course, he'll have the highest stats possible from among his allies. Like, say he has 60 attack, 50 speed, 43 defense, and 37 resistance. He'll still get hit with whatever debuff, appropriate debuff happens there, if it's something like that, with a lull. Whereas if it was something from, like, a threatened skill or a chill skill, and it happened to hit him, it really wouldn't matter. Now, for cases where it would matter, I'm pretty sure if someone like Creed, who gets a follow-up on you if you have a penalty on you, if he attacks someone like Jane, who has a penalty on him, he might still be able to get a follow-up attack on him. And that's something I want to test, because I remember talking with other people, and they thought basically panic and other penalties don't matter on him because he'll just copy the stats of someone else. But just as a word of note, things like Creed's weapon and Gunthra, they may still affect him, and they still might cause trouble for him. I don't think there's like a unit who's just outright immune to panic. Even Idun can still be susceptible to certain things like status effects, like panic and what was it, the flash effect, things like that. Anything else? AoEs might be able to tear him apart. That might be a possible weakness for him, because those take into account Zane's, in Zane's case, his defense and or resistance. So say if he has 20 and there's an ally near him who has 40, it won't matter. They'll still calculate using his 20 defense or resistance, and he'll take probably a hefty amount of damage from just the AoE, and then take 0 or something from the actual in-combat attack. So he's not exactly invincible. You gotta be really smart, because of course there's like people out there who are probably thinking about memeing on people with like level 1 Zanes. As hilarious as it would be, that's definitely not something you should do. Although I can sympathize with that, and that does sound absolutely hilarious. Now, we saw it in the trailer, but there was the update that shows like all different kinds of in-combat boosts that you're getting in combat, and of course debuffs as well. He had 28 attack increase, and I'm sure part of that comes from his form skill. Now, the kind of skills that you will want on him are, of course, ones that boost his stats in combat. So form skills made sense. It looks like all he'll really have is good HP. I think he'll have okay speed, low defense, and of course alright resistance, like every other mage out there. So things like the form skills, or I guess a lull skill as well, a special spiral. If you want to, like, the way to go, I think, would be to give him skills that don't really increase his stats, but like give him abilities to do things like close counter, no follow-up, special spiral, those kind of things. Or the stance skills, blow skills, I guess, as well. So long as it's like in combat, I think that'll work the best for him, as opposed to something like Fury and Life and Death, as that wouldn't really make much sense, since the flat stat increasers won't matter, because he'll just copy someone else's. Of course, it'll matter if he's on his own, in which case you really got to be careful with what his... We don't know what his stats will be, but still, I might want to take that into account. I know he already has like 50 base HP, which is pretty amazing. 52 or 50 base HP, I think. So he's gonna... You can at least do things like Sudden Panic and Panic Ploy with him, and those will be very fun ideas. So all I know is that I definitely want to summon for him. It's a 4-star focus. We're getting a colorless mage as a 4-star focus, and it's something as unique and as potentially busted as Jane. This is like the kind of unit you probably wouldn't even really need to merge up, unless you really just want to use him in like arena or something. It's just a lot of fun. I feel like this is going to be a very fun unit, and probably a real headache whenever he comes in on Ether raids. Alright, moving on to the next hero, being Robin, but in reality, Grima. The female Robin Grima is here dressed as like a wolf girl, I guess? It's Moonless Breast, so it's obviously a wolf. But it's Grima. What kind of shenanigans had to take place to convince Fell Dragon Grima to dress up this way and to go to a festival and enjoy festivities? It's weird. But this is like one of those obligatory upgraded version of a existing legendary hero. Like, we got that with Legendary Ike, as we got the Chaos Ragnail Ike, just a better version of that Ike in general. We had Legendary Julia and then Fallen Julia. That's ridiculous. And now we have Halloween Grima, female Grima, who is pretty much an upgraded version of Legendary Grima. Moonless Breath has distant counter, like Expiration, but in addition to that, if she's within 2 spaces of an ally and deals damage to a foe using a special, she gets 30% of her HP back, equal to her max amount, of course, HP, of course, I mean. So it's just like Brave Claw's weapon, except instead of 50%, it's 30%. So she can do some tanking, some survival. She's meant to survive, I guess, and be really annoying that way. So you could tackle on something like Moonbow, or of course Noontime like there, and she'll still get some healing, especially if you have Noontime, Mystic Boost even. Dragon Scale, which is pretty much an upgraded version of Dragon Skin, neutralizes effective flying bonuses just like it, and instead of having Bracing Stance, instead of Bracing Stance, it's just if the foe initiates combat, or if they have max HP at the start of combat, she hits them with attack and resistance -6, and she gets special cooldown charge +1. Basically, you hit her, and then she gets her Noontime immediately, as you saw in the trailer. The fact that it's already attack -6 makes it better than Dragon Skin's defense and resistance boost, because it's already defense and resistance +6 in a way. And then, of course, the resistance -6 makes it effectively attack +6 for her. And, of course, you can do... Now, I've never worked with stuff like this. The only time I've worked with something like this is Dimitri, and I still just run Noontime on Dimitri. But you could try Bonfire, or, like, anything higher than 2 cooldown as a special. Of course, Ether would probably take too long. I don't think you should go with something like that. If you want to go for more aggressive options, of course, Moonbow and Glimmer exist, and that's pretty much it. You can't use Rupture Sky, because Dragon. And, of course... Actually, no, that's all we have for 2 cooldown specials, huh? But yeah, Bonfire, maybe Iceberg. Maybe this one will have more resistance. I'm not too sure. But then, let's talk about that B skill, Dragon's Ire. At first, I thought it was just no follow-up for dragons, which was weird because no follow-up debuted on a dragon. But it's instead just a stronger form of Quick Riposte. 50% HP, she can get a counterattack, and you cannot stop her from getting that counterattack. So things like the impact skills don't matter, and she ignores the no follow-up effect of those weapons. Wary Fighter, Thunder Armads, I guess, too. So that's pretty cool. I don't know about it, though. I feel like it should have done more. It doesn't feel all that necessary. Like a stronger Quick Riposte. Yay, I guess? But it's dragons. I feel like they needed something more than just a better Quick Riposte. But this is probably better for the infantry and flyer ones than anything else. I'm assuming because she has something that stops her follow-ups, that just means that she should have good enough speed, but I don't know. The flyer that she was facing, I think, doubled her. So she might not be that fast. Regular Grima has about, 34 speed, I think, off the top of my head. And which isn't bad. It's probably an upgraded stat line. Probably 1 or 2 extra points here and there. So maybe, because with most of these upgraded versions of existing heroes, they're better in every single way. They just changed the color. So like with Fallen Corrin, we had the male, then we got the male one. He was pretty much a better version of her, except they made him blue. So in a way, he's worse than her, but not. And I guess it can be said the same way with this one. Like Legendary Core Robin. Legendary Robin is a colorless unit. Meanwhile, this one is of course green. So Falchion's really gonna screw her up. She probably has a better shot at surviving against units like Legendary Julia, but Legendary Julia hits hard, so I'm not too sure. Probably, if this is actually like the unit that I want to get from the banner. I like the way she looks, and she looks like a fun unit. I wish that she came with a rain skill, though, since we've been getting a ton of those lately. Even if it was one that already exists, like attack speed rain, like on Brave Claude, or the one that Plumeria has, attack / resistance rain. If we got that one on her, that would have been really nice. But she definitely wants something like that, since it can help increase her survivability. Other than that, I don't know. Mostly satisfied with this. I think, I don't know, her weapon, I feel like I want something, I feel like I want to switch off the weapon. Don't get me wrong, it's a good weapon. Like, it's DC, and then you, of course, get a little bit of healing when you activate your special, and then her A skill works with that skill. So, like, I feel like we don't have a lot of inheritable Dragon Breaths skills, and the one I had in mind is, of course, the one that Diginsi has, who we'll just move on to, by the way. Now, Diginsi, God, he looks awesome. Oh man, he looks absolutely amazing. He's supposed to be like a vampire, right? Because he's got bats and such, and he's got all these bat wing-esque things going on, like right here, like his little belt thingy or whatever that is. Of course, he's got that vampire-looking cape and all that. He looks absolutely amazing. Jeez, Kika Senra did an amazing job, like always. All the artists did, of course. I'm just saying it here. But his breath, he's an armored dragon, and I will say I was always curious about what they would do for the Tellius dragons, because the dragons function just like other beast units, from what I remember. I haven't watched any footage of like Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn ever, and I haven't played Path of Radiance in forever. I was an elementary school kid when I played Path of Radiance. But from what I remember, they functioned the same. So I was always curious about whether or not they would have dragons work the same way as other beast units. But now we know. They're basically just going to be dragon units still. I know Anna is also a red dragon, but she's infantry. I'm pretty sure she's infantry. Which is weird because she's a Jiangshi. And Jiangshis are like, they can't move. They're locked up. They're basically Chinese vampires. Oh hey, they're both vampires. Neat. But yeah, they hop around because they can't move very well. From what I've read, it's been a very long time since I read up on those things. But yeah, so you think she'd be an armored unit as well? But maybe they just don't want to give us like an armored dragon just yet. They still haven't, so. I guess they're not quite ready yet to give us all that power that comes with being weak to do two different things. Oh well. But his Black Fire Breath is basically the pirate weapons. Of course, this one hits attack and resistance, and it's gotta be alone. It's a solo. Get it? Solo? Lol. I know, I'm hilarious. Which is weird. Armors can't get very far, but I liken it to Winter Ephraim, where you can basically just send them in, and then you'll get your stat boost, and then everyone else comes in and joins them, and then you're good. But of course, this time, the Diginsi is more of an enemy phase unit, so it's a little weird. You send him off on his own and leave him that way. So I don't know how well he'll perform. But he's got Sturdy Stance 3, and he's got the new Slick Fighter, which I don't like. Not because it's a scary skill or thing, but I find it lackluster. Like, all it is a better Quick Riposte. It's just like Crafty Fighter with the 25% HP requirement. And it neutralizes, and this is where it differs from Crafty Fighter, it doesn't have the guard effect, but instead it neutralizes penalties on the unit. I don't think that'll really happen. I don't think that'll matter too much. I can only see it happening if he like gets hit with Dark Shrine and like Ether Raids or Chill Attack or something. He's an armor unit, so no doubt he's going to be slow. The Axe Dragoon, the Axe Dragon unit doubled him in the trailer after all. So, and they're not the fastest ones in the world. So he's definitely slow. So he might have good resistance, but he probably definitely has like a lot of attack. At least 40 is what I'm assuming. Especially since they gave him a generic weapon. Diginsi. The man who fought alongside Altina and Uh, I forgot. I forgot about the other Beast Lagoose guy. Oh, I forgot his name. But yeah, this is a seasonal version of him. I'm sure we'll get like a normal banner version of him, or if not, like a. Would he be a mythic? We only got 2 spots left, so I doubt it. I feel like one's gonna be Triandra, which is weird because then we got Freya and Freyr. They're more godlike than Triandra and Plumeria are, and Peony and Mirabilis, but the devs do what the devs do. But yeah, I don't like Slick Fighter. I prefer for it if it took away the buffs of the person that's attacking you. I think that'd be better. I'd be perfectly fine with it. Sure, it'd be busted, but it's an enemy face lock skill. It'd be a little bit more busted, sure, than just screw my penalties. I don't know. I feel like that would be better. But who knows? Maybe Slick Fighter will really be a real threat. But they do tend to like test out new interesting skill ideas with seasonal banners, since they won't actually be out and about like normal banner unit skills. So things like Jane here, I feel like he's like a test run before we get other units like him, which case I can only see 2 things that would be like Jane, and that's like the normal version of him, that if that would happen and he would join the game, and like Loki, if Loki got like a souped up version of herself that was more of a fighter than a healer, I feel like she would have something like his weapon. Other than that, yeah, Diginsi looks alright. He looks absolutely cool. Awesome. He can't use Stride, so that's a bummer. So, what else can he use? Not too sure. I feel like he would rather have Crafty Fighter, but he already has Sturdy Stance, so he doesn't need like the extra cooldown charge minus on the person he's fighting. But of course, you go with DC, then I can see a point in Crafty Fighter. Either way, he looks awesome, and I want to go for him solely because of how he looks. And I do intend on summoning on this banner, by the way. I want to go for Grima here. I want to go for Jane. And I, of course, want to go for the next unit, who is the duo / resin harmonic hero, being Tiki and Ninian. Can I say one thing? Okay? Before I start complimenting them on how they look, I'm tired of young Tiki getting all the love, okay? Yes, I guess she's from, like, the original Fire Emblem, and she's liked enough, apparently. It's like, she's everywhere. She's even, like, TMS. There's, like, that Vocaloid version of her or whatever. But, come on! We only got one adult Tiki alt. And we got, like, we got regular Tiki, we got Summer Tiki, Legendary Tiki, Fallen Tiki, and then we got this Tiki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 alts. But that's fine, I don't know. Maybe that's probably just me. But I just wish that we had more adult Tiki love. Because I feel like in my heart of hearts, if we got a resplendent Tiki skin, it would be for the young version. I just feel like it would be for the young version and not for the adult version. Which would be a bummer. A bit of a bummer, because that's like another 3 or 4 star unit that I would prefer to get a skin. But yeah, this unit's ridiculous. As a harmonic hero, they're like designed for resonant battles. And as you can probably tell when you think about it, she hits really, really hard. Her weapon, Frost Fire Breath, effective against dragon foes, because Tiki, and grants attack +3. If bonus is active on unit, grants attack plus and speed +6 during combat, and also grants bonus to units attack equal to total bonuses on units defense and resistance times 1.5 during combat. Now my silly self thought that said 0.5, in which case it would have been like taking her with everyone's skill into account, her C skill there. Defense or resistance +5, that's 10. And then it'd be an extra grants total bonuses. Okay, like, yeah, no, my dumb self was like, okay, +5 from her defense is like 2.5. And I didn't add the total bonuses together. No, I was just that kind of dumb that moment. During those moments, I was like, okay, so it's 2.5 and then 2.5. So it's like 5, 5, 5, and it's 15. It's the same result. I just did it in a stupider way. But it basically is plus 10 defense and resistance, and then you get an extra 5 because that's what the total is. So she gets 15 extra attack. She gets 15 extra attack. Oh, now I remember. I thought it was just 5 extra attack. Now, I'm pretty sure that's what it means, though. It's like 15 extra attack as opposed to just 5 attack. But I feel like it's a necessary evil. I think she had 58 base attack. And so you do that plus the 6 here from her weapon and then the 7 here. So that's 13. So that's already 71 attack. And then her weapon kicks in. So if that's really plus 15 extra attack, then that's 86 attack, which is absolutely disgusting. Until you remember that this is for resonant battles, and those darn guardian characters have like a ton of HP. Of course, her resonant harmonic skill. I wish they had the same name. Jeez, I get them mixed up all the time. But her harmonic skill, Blades, it has that effect that Mia has, and then more, because it actually refreshes the character, the ally, with the highest HP within 2 spaces. The Blades effect is, of course, universal. It's global. So long as you're a part of the same title as Ninian and Tiki, you're going to get the Blades buff. And to specify Ninian, it says Fire Emblem, but it is Blazing Blade, not Binding Blade. But I feel like it's probably obvious information for Fire Emblem fans. But yeah, it's Blades, and then the one ally within 2 spaces who has the highest HP can go again, even if they're a singer, a dancer, or I guess in Neil's case, a player. Haha. They just get another action, which is that's pretty dangerous. It's pretty darn good. Oh man, I feel like she's gonna be wild in like Arena. Of course, Ether Raid's offense, she'll be really good there. This is a hero. We only have 3 now, right? We have Mia and Marth, and then Veronica and Xander, and then this is our 3rd one, right? I'm not forgetting anyone. Like this one, though, this one is someone that you can realistically use in like the higher echelon of Arena, because it's not a cav unit. And it's flyer with like, what was it? I think it would calculate it to like, what, 170 at least BST? So, yeah, I don't. This unit scares me. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. This unit scares me, and I'd rather not fight it. If someone gave it distant counter and I guess Mystic Boost and IOT Shield in the seal slot, this unit would probably be a real darn annoyance. But, yeah, not too sure. Not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see how things turn out. But yeah, this is pretty much it. That's my thoughts on all these units, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to talk about them. It just looks like a really fun banner. With fun units, and it's been a bit since I've thought that. I think the last time I thought that was the TMS banner. TMS banner had a lot of fun little gimmicks going on with Eleonora and then the session skills. Of course, I only ever got Kyria from that banner, so But yeah, they all look really cool. My phone's battery is dying, so I gotta close things out now, which is good because I'm all done. So yeah. Thank you all very much for watching. Feel free to let me know what you think about this banner's units and each of the heroes on it, who you're going for if you are summoning. Even your free summons, you're going to tell me about those. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably, since I've talked about this banner, I think I'll do a video on it. Problem is I'm a very impatient person, So like while I'm saving orbs or gathering orbs, I'll probably just have the impulse to summon while I have 9 or 13 orbs. But I don't know, if I do a video for it, I'll probably try my best to hang on. Especially since we're getting like a double special hero banner, I think, this month, which may have the summer heroes on it, which is like the ones from 3 houses, who I would prefer to get merges for, because they're all minus speed. I have Duo Byleth, I have Summer Ingrid, I have Dorothea. She's minus attack, which is still just as bad as minus speed, and I'd like to get merges on them to get rid of those flaws. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, take care.